Hello and welcome. In the video today, we're going to explore a game example that illustrates perfectly how you should go about generating useful and effective plans in chess. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a thought process that you can utilize, which basically looks like this. You figure out an idea that you want to go for, and you make the necessary changes to make that idea even more powerful than it was originally. And so you're going to see through the lens of this position right here, that being illustrated. Now, if you've never thought of chess like this, if you've never seen a game example that showed this in action, then I think this video will be super impactful because it's truly an incredibly effective way to generate good ideas, good plans, and play generally a good game. So this is the position that I said that we're going to focus on. But I do want to provide a little bit of context, so we'll look briefly at the opening. To be honest, it was mostly theoretical. It was the Najdorf Sicilian, and both players played a dozen or so moves of complete theory. Black goes for an attack and some expansion on the queen side, and white is playing a little bit on the king side. We see this idea of putting the pawn on h4, which is a little bit unique. It's not very necessary, and it's one of the sideline ideas that black has. Nonetheless, this position is still very typical, but it's actually after queen to d8 and here the move c3 that we finally branch out into unique territory. And in this position, after black castles, we finished the opening. Both players got their pieces out and castled. White now needs to make a plan. And I'd urge you to pause the video and try to figure out what white played here and their general idea. I will admit it's very difficult, especially if you're not familiar with this thought process that we're going to introduce today, but still takes a moment and try to figure it out. Here's the general idea. Black has a king on the king side. We have a king on the queen side. So white is going for an attack on the king side and black is going for one on the queen side. And so we want to figure out how can we effectively attack. And the only real way that we can generate an attack here is to go for the move g4 or g3, because both of these moves will encourage black to take. If they don't take after g4, we're just going to run them over. So after g4 or g3, they're going to have to take, and then presumably we're going to take back, and we're going to take advantage of this open g-file and this h-pawn that can run down the board. We're going to have open files and avenues for us to attack. So this is what we want to do. But you can then see that this plan is not so strong. If we go g4 here, they're just going to take. And if we try to attack this pawn and then open up the file, they can defend it very nicely. They have many ways to defend this pawn. They're actually adding even more pressure now. They're locking up our attack. This is a complete fail. Black is already better. So we have this idea of going g4. We realize it doesn't work yet. Why does it not work? It's because we don't have the rook yet defending the attack or the prospect of going g4. So maybe we first go rook to g1. And the idea is to then go g4. We're preparing this move very directly. But here again, there's an issue. They go knight h5, and they once again stop our idea of g4. If we go g4 now, they're going to take, and we actually just transpose into that same variation. Otherwise, they're going to plant the knight on g3 and physically stop us from getting in this move g4. This is also not a very effective way to go about our attacking plan. So we want to make an improvement again. We can't go rook to g1 because of knight to h5. Let's remove this knight from the board. If we take, they take, now maybe rook to g1 works. Maybe now g4 is powerful, and again, we're going for this attack, and if they take, we're going to take back and open up the g-file. This looks a bit more promising, but then you see that they're simply going to take on f4. And at every stage in this process, you can quit, and you can say, okay, this plan doesn't work. Let's just scratch this completely and go for something different. But you don't want to do that. You want to continue to make as many small improvements as you can until you find that it either works or there's just no more improvements that you can make. And so in this position, obviously, they're going to take, and then they're going to put the bishop here and maybe on g3 if it's necessary. This, we're not getting g4 either. So we go back. Okay, so after we take, we can't go rook to g1. Oh, wait, what if we take and then go f5? And the point is that after their bishop moves, now we can go for rook to g1 and g4 ideas. This looks very promising. The issue, though, once again, is that after f5, they're going to take on b3. Now, admittedly, this is not so bad. We're quite safe here with this pawn mass. It's still quite difficult for black to generate an attack, and we can play this completely fine. We can go rook to g1 next, and then go for playing g4. This is a nice improved plan, but even so, white didn't feel that comfortable leaving this pawn mass. They wanted to be even more perfect. They didn't even want to make this small concession. They wanted to completely minimize the risk. And so what they did, ladies and gentlemen, in this position, in the starting position, they played bishop c2, which looks incredibly mysterious until you realize that their idea is precisely what we just uncovered. They're going to take, then they're going to go f5, and in the case that black takes, they're going to take back with the bishop, give this bishop a huge purpose, and they still have that same setup to go for g4. This is exactly what happens on the board, and white has initiated a perfect plan, and therefore they're already winning. It's like +3 here, because after g4, it's really simple. There is no way to stop this attack. We have the open g-file. We have this h-pawn that can run down the board. We have the necessary pieces to join in the attack. The attack here is simply going to play itself. White is completely winning. And it all stemmed, once again, from a successful and improved and perfected plan. So bishop d5, some final details, not giving away this pawn, but eventually we're going for h6. And very often when you have these nice strategical plans, it's going to transform into some tactical finish, and this is no different in this position. It's a very beautiful tactical finish. I'd urge you, if you're interested, to try to find the tactical win here as well. Very stunning. Queen takes f6. We're not here for the ending per se, but it's still very beautiful to see. A very nice combination. Black resigned here because when they move the king, it is simply mate. So going back as a very brief review, the general plan and thought process that you want to utilize is the following. You find an idea. After they castle, we want to attack. Okay, let's go g4. No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's prepare at rook g1. No, that doesn't work either. Okay, let's take, then go rook g1. No, then they can take. You make these small improvements, and by doing this, you basically perfect your plan. You refine it into a plan that absolutely has no concessions and no downsides, and it's one that has a great chance of working successfully. So this is a very nice way to think about chess. It's a very nice way to approach middle games where you want to generate plans, and I'd urge you to implement this into your own games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, like this video if you learned something new from it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.